down but not out. 2 games to 1. Game 4 on Saturday, I believe. I'm getting the days. Friday. So hopefully I'm gonna feel better then. So I'm not completely distraught. Because if the series is over, I don't know if I can go live tonight. But anyways, y'all, tonight's episode, it was good episode. I appreciate that everyone's kind of getting some backbones. This is the first episode I really appreciate. Corey, I'm gonna give you some props tonight, my brother. You definitely showed up and showed out tonight. You definitely came through and did your thing and represented well and showed everybody like, hey, you ain't the punching bag. But I wish you would have showed this energy in week 1. But hey, like they always say, better late than never. What's poppin', y'all? We back with another challenge, Battle of the Eras recap, episode 8. Now, look, I know I was supposed to have episode 7 on last week. I recorded episode 7, but the mic was all messed up. It was real choppy. I uploaded it for about a good few minutes, and it was just terrible, y'all. And I did not have time to re-record episode 7 just because I was at a baseball game last Tuesday. I had a baseball game to go to Saturday. I had an event this Saturday morning where I did talk to Kenny Santucci and Johnny Bananas. They were there, so I got to meet those two. And then I had a concert to go to Friday. It was busy, y'all. It was real busy. I just never got around to be able to get to episode 7 to recap it. But to be honest, y'all, Darrell and Tina lost. It was a tragic episode. It wasn't that great. The elimination was trash. The daily was trash, in my opinion. It was trash all around. So I guess if any episode I were not to be able to get a recap in, it was that episode. And my brother Darrell's out the game, so I was distraught about that too. So it was tough to do. But yes, y'all, it's been a crazy week. So I did not get a chance to get to episode 7. So I do apologize about that. But we are back with episode 8 tonight, and let me tell y'all, this episode came through. This episode did its thing, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think this daily should have been one of the first dailies in the entire season. I think that they definitely should have used this as the second, maybe even the first challenge instead of that boat river raft challenge. I much would have rather seen this. And then the last place would have been the first 2 people to fall off the edge were thrown into the elimination. I think this should have been one of the first early ones because at this point everyone's battered and bruised. I mean, there had 2 people, one person on each team for the guys and girls, so it was just kind of a wash on that aspect of things. And they stood no chance of winning. They stood no chance of not getting last place, which I thought was dumb with the rules. It's like, oh, the only people left, that would be it, which you needed a time limit for sure. But at the same time, I think this, like I said, this challenge should have been done a lot earlier. But hey, we'll get into it. We'll go there soon. But yes, we start off with the episode. Era 1 is decimated. They're depleted. Their forces have all been evacuated from the airplane, and they are shipped back to America, and we only have Derek and Rachel left. It's crazy, and like nobody could have seen this coming. And it sucks that Derek had an injury too, so they've really already only had like 1.5 players. No offense to Derek. I mean, he's still a dog, but without a leg, it was only a matter of time, and he was on borrowed time. But yes, Derek, we get a flashback to him doing the same kind of challenge a long time ago, where he was kind of the underdog as well. And we soon see that Jenny is upset because she's being nominated again, and Casey saying it's her own fault for not making conversations. All right, hold on. Casey. Jenny, y'all wasn't going to put her in y'all plans anyways. Let me turn this up. Hold on. There we go. I was off for a second. Y'all wasn't going to put her in your plans anyways. You already had the Vacation Alliance. So you're not really going to bring any outsiders in there. We all know that. that's been proven. When have you ever brought a real outsider to join your alliance fully? It's always been Casey, Nani, Devin, Tori, Josh, Devin, and I think that's it. And Anissa. That's the Vacation Alliance, y'all. And if they've been doing this for seasons and seasons and seasons, and they never really brought anyone else fully in, so why would they start now? So Casey, you capping when you say, oh, you could have made alliances and you could have made deals. She couldn't have made any deals with y'all. So with her being thrown in, that was just inevitable. Now maybe Olivia's being a part-time member of the Vacation Alliance. And if my mic is messed up again, please, I don't know what's going on. But maybe Casey can be a part-time member of the Vacation Alliance, but not Casey, Olivia. But then again, she's on borrowed time with the Vacation Alliance too. And if she's smart, she should want to get them out as well. Simple as that. So yeah, I definitely think that Corey should have activated a lot sooner if he didn't want this outcome. And Casey needs to stop capping on saying, oh, Jenny just needs to make friends. That's not the case. Because the only girls left is Michelle, who's booed up with Devin, who's in the Vacation Alliance, Casey, who's in the Vacation Alliance, and Olivia, I guess, is a part-time member of the Vacation Alliance, seemingly. I don't know why Olivia's not really getting thrown in like that, but Jenny's just the odd one out. And it really would have benefited them if, who was it? Who was in Era 4 at the beginning? I'm forgetting. Who was in Era 4 at the beginning? Oh, Nerys. It really would have benefited Jenny's game if Nerys was still there. But yeah, now she just has to take on that burden. But she gets that lick back at the end of the episode by getting the dub. But yes, Casey says she has to remember she's playing with rookies. Casey, you ain't playing with rookies. I don't even know what you're talking about. Casey, you only won because CT was on your team during that final in Double Agent. So let's not forget. Because in the final before, you hurt yourself within the first 5 minutes of it. So let's not get too big for our own britches. All right? Nehemiah soon compares to Era 2 to being like Destiny's Child before they broke up. Oh, yes. There's 3 different segments to Era 2. We have Johnny and Laurel. I call them Beyonce. Look, they're the 2 strongest members, if we're being quite frank, you know. I'd call Kara, Ryan, Derek. Anyone else in that group? Yeah, I guess I'd call Kara, Ryan, Derek, Kelly, Rowland, because they're important. They're doing their part in the team, but they're definitely, you know, not the main focus. And then I got Nehemiah and Aviv as Michelle. No shade to Michelle. Michelle is a very important, vital part of the team, but they're the ones that's always just going to get lambasted and the blame on and just kind of the scapegoats for everything else. So that's Destiny Child in a nutshell. Now, they're still friends, of course, but definitely that's the settings that they are having to work on with the team. But yes, they're singing songs, but not really together. And soon we get Ryan moving out the room. I thought that was pretty funny. But Johnny, look, not to get off topic, but I did get to meet Johnny Bananas this weekend, as I paraphrased earlier, at the Strong New York convention in New York City, hosted by Kenny Santucci, the former challenger. And this is the first time I met Johnny. First time. And he actually was pretty cool, y'all. Look. I like Johnny Bananas. Hey, Johnny's a cool dude. You know, I'm not on the show with him, so I really can't speak from the game point of view from that. But one of the most charismatic people I've ever met. I'm actually bigger than him. Shocking. I thought, like, on TV, Johnny looks huge, but in person, I mean, I'm a big dude myself. You know, 6'1", 205, 210 on a good day. I don't know how much Johnny weighs, but I'm definitely got some inches on him and some size. So I like the guy. Very charismatic. Very, hold on, y'all. I'm having technical difficulties real quick. Let me just unplug this mic real quick. Hold on. We having technical difficulties. Are we back? But yes, like I said, very charismatic, very likable, very egocentric too. You know, he definitely likes the spotlight and very likes to have his voice heard among a crowd. But I don't mind him. After meeting him, I can't help but be a fan of Johnny Bananas to that standpoint on real life things and whatnot. The game is the game, but real life, I do like Johnny Bananas. Good dude. So, hey, I'm gonna show him some love because he showed me some love and did an interview that I posted in my shorts. So if you ain't seen the shorts of Johnny Bananas, it's posted, and I'm gonna post a full length video by this weekend of the whole entire event, so y'all can all see it. So go check it out when it comes out because we're behind right now. We've got a lot of things to catch up on. And also, side note, I will be possibly at the Big Brother finale this weekend. Next weekend. This weekend? It's this weekend. No, not Big Brother. Is it Big Brother? Yes. This weekend. This weekend, because it's Sunday. Yeah. Anywho, back on track. Derek is trying to make a deal with Theo in Era 4. He's like, look, I'm just by myself, and I need y'all help to make sure I don't go back into elimination because I'm on a hobble leg and I'm on borrowed time and I want some more time. So please, Era 4, please. And I don't hate Derek for making this deal. That's the only choice he kind of has. Era 4 really isn't gaining anything or losing anything by helping Derek, except maybe if Era 1 were to win the challenge, if they didn't know what it was, then they would be safe. But Era 1 hasn't came close to winning a challenge all season. So I think, honestly, Era 4's smartest deal was to just keep working with Era 3. But then they got convoluted, diluted alliance things going down. So I understand. You just add an extra number. And they didn't know what the challenge was going to be. So, hey, Derek has to do something. But if Derek should have made an alliance with everybody. But they lost anyway. So it didn't really matter. But soon we get to the challenge. And before the challenge starts, TJ says his favorite movie, Gladiator, is coming back after 24 years. Now, look, I have not seen the original movie Gladiator. I have not seen it. It came out in the year 2000, starring Russell Crowe. It was a very popular film. I think I've seen parts of it. I don't remember the full thing from top to bottom, but a very, very, very good movie. Russell Crowe, Connie Nelson, Joaquin Phoenix, Oliver Reed, Derek Jacobi, a great movie. But I'm just not 100%. Like, it's not my favorite movie. It's a cool movie, but it's not for me because there's just they needed some more brothers in this film, But I do like that the new Gladiator is starring Denzel Washington, which I am shocked at. I'm shocked, y'all. I never thought they would put a brother as one of the main people in one of these Gladiator movies, like Sparta, Gladiator, etc., The Mummy, all that. I'm gonna go see it now because I had no idea they was making another one, and Denzel was gonna be one of the main characters. So we gotta go support our brother Denzel Washington. So hopefully I can make it. I need to find out where this red carpet's at. If it's in New York, I'm there. But yes, Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Joseph Quinn. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. Connie Nielsen. I don't know the other people in the movie. Let me see if I know anyone else. Peter Mensah, May Calloway. I don't recognize none of these other people, but I do know Denzel. And that's where I'm going to be, is on watching that movie. Hey, I'm probably going to do a review of the movie, but I got to watch the old one again. So, anywho, we get that out the way. And they get a preview of it. And Avery's like, oh, yes, that's one of my favorite movies, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, Avery, come on now. Dang well you ain't seen no Gladiator. I don't believe her for a second, to be honest with you, but hey, if the shoe fits and you want to say that, go ahead, Avery. But yes, basically what the deal of the challenge is, basically they get these gladiator shield looking things and they must knock the opponents off, and the team with the least amount of people on at the end of the challenge wins or loses the challenge, and the team with the most people left, guys and girls combined, wins. And yeah, I mean, Era 2 got 2 people, so like they really don't stand a chance at all. Like they need one team to just completely fold and lose all their players, which is hard to do because the thing it is, like, I think they gave him too much room for this. It should have been like on a smaller platform. If y'all ever played Mario Party, they have a game similar to like this on Mario Party, to where you got to knock your opponents off, and you're standing on like a little ball and you're rolling, and it hits the ball, and the balls will automatically bounce. So if they had something kind of like that mechanism ish, I don't know what you could do, but just pushing people, like, it was gonna take some work to get some people off. I mean, some people fell off like Naya, but I think they should have made the arena smaller, in my personal opinion. But yes, we get the challenge started. The guys are going ham. Corey's going for everyone's throats. This is his element. He's dominating. I like the energy from Corey he's given. It's very entertaining to watch, I will say. But Bananas falls off. Ryan falls off. I believe who else fell off? Bananas, Ryan, and someone else fell off. I don't think anyone else fell off. Oh, Derek fell off. Derek fell off. Devin tried to make a deal with Theo while they in there going ham, but Theo's like, I ain't with the plans. I'm doing my own thing up in here. And eventually the challenge ends with a lot of them still left over. Jordan gets a black eye. It's crazy. But yeah, it was lit up there. I would have loved to do this kind of challenge. This is kind of what everyone like wants to do, but they be having them do all these like other kind of crazy games. This is what they're training for, is these physical things and the endurance things. Hasn't too many endurance things to sell them so far. Not too much. But yes, the guys end up finishing. Corey and Derek get into it afterwards. They're arguing. Derek does throw his life jacket at Corey when his back is facing. That's not cool, Derek. Look, I get it. I'm down for the call. I'm down for the drama, but you do that with a man's back turn. You lucky they ain't in the challenge and not somewhere else, or else it would be on and cracking. So kudos to Corey for keeping his cool on that one, because I don't know if I would have. Because I would have definitely got in somebody's face. Somebody throwing something at me when I ain't looking. You can't be a dog barking once the owner walks away. Or else, them dogs get put down and get dealt with. But anywho, the guys finish up. The girls go. And the girl, Naya slips and falls in the water. Avery getting busted upside the head. It's like sock and boppers with Avery. She gets lit up a few times by Rachel. I'm like, dang. They slow-moed it and everything. I was just like, sheesh. But it was very entertaining to watch. Laurel's actually helping Cara with Tori. They double teaming her. And the thing is, like I said, it was too big of an arena for anybody to like really fall off like that. But it gets high and mighty and tight up in there. You know what I mean, Coach? I mean, I was ready to see them bows being thrown Ludacris style. Drop bones on her. We drop bones on her when we throw them bones. Cadillac grills. I ain't gonna get into it, but you get what I mean. But eventually, it ends. Everyone loses, obviously. They go into elimination. Era 4 wins because they had the most players left. So Theo and Jenny are safe, which means it is Cara and Derek for Era 2. And for Era 3, it's Corey and Avery. Those are the 4 potential nominees for elimination, the targets. So we get back to the house, and Derek's in a tough spot because he's like, hey, I want to save Avery. That's my girl. She went in for me. She took the bullet for me, but I don't necessarily want to volunteer myself. Does that make me a bad friend? Yes, it does. I mean, if I was Avery, I'm like, dude, really? What did I go in for? I mean, to prove a point to Tony, I get a point to Tony, but he should have stepped up and went in for her, in my personal opinion. That wasn't cool. I don't want me going out for my friends, and my friends can't do the same thing for me. That'll show you what time it is. Now, look, it's a game at the end of the day. Maybe they had to talk and be like, look, I can't do that. I appreciate you doing that for me, but I can't do that for you. I mean, Darrell said the same thing, when it came to Derek. I see it both ways. I'd be mad if I was in the receiving end. I get it. I'm not going to volunteer either. It's a lot of money. But, man, that's tough. That's tough. It shows you really when your friend's down for you. Put everything else aside, what's really going down. And Even though Avery needed the money, like she said, she still went in and took the bullet for Derek, and he couldn't do the same. So that's he better if he wins, he better split something with her. They better make a side deal. That's all I gotta say. But yes, it's interrogation time, and Avery is upset. Yeah, like I said, that Derek isn't volunteering to go in because she pretty much did that for him. Corey basically threatens Jenny, like, look, if y'all throw me in, I know what time it is, and you getting thrown back in again. What's up? What's up? So Corey, look, this was Corey's episode. He was standing on business. And Derek basically calls out Era 3 and Corey because Avery is weak, and Derek says, like, look, I want to go against Era 3. But I believe Rachel. I feel like Rachel did put him up to that because, Rachel, she gonna beat Avery, like in almost anything. Like, let's be honest. Like, she's doing a good job in this challenge. She did well, but Rachel versus Avery isn't really a fair matchup. But Avery versus a lot of the girls isn't a fair matchup, So, who did Avery beat? She beat. I can't remember who she beat. Was it Anissa? I think she beat Anissa. I can't remember. It's been so long. These episodes, these weeks are just going by. But yes, I can't remember who Avery beat per se. But I don't know. I hope my mic isn't messing up again. But yes, basically Derek calls him out, and Corey's like, "Oh, you about that life? You really sure?" And Derek's like, "Yeah, I want you. What's popping?" And so I was ready for the elimination to get started in the interrogation room. They should have said, "All right, let's just do this right now, coach, and skip all the extraness. Let's get the elimination going now." And then Rachel, she's like, "Oh, don't you better be scared of Derek. He's the real GOAT." Look, I love you, Rachel. I think we all do, but come on now. Rachel, you capping now, because we all know Derek is lit. He's one of the greats, but he is not the GOAT. He won team challenges only. If I'm not mistaken, Derek won Cutthroat, I believe. Derek won The Island, I believe. And Derek won the Inferno or the Gauntlet 3. I can't remember which one. But he won all team challenges, if I'm not mistaken. He never won a challenge where he was the sole winner. He never won a challenge where it was pairs. Derek always had a team with him. One thing we could say about CT is he's won by himself. One thing we could say about Johnny, he's won by himself. One thing we could say about Jordan, he's won by himself. Darrell, he's won by himself. So those are the top 4 for me. I think you have to win by yourself at least once in order to be considered one of the greatest players. And Derek hasn't done that. So that automatically removes him from GOAT status. And I know Rachel's trying to have his back, but I guess she ain't got no much choice at this point, so I don't even blame her for saying that. She's just trying to hype him up. But yes, Corey said, "I gave you mercy during the daily. Ain't no Chloe Bailey mercy coming down this elimination, coach. You don't have to get these hands." And little did they know hands would be involved. But yes, Corey just gives him the intimidation factor. Now, he's beating a wolf when he's down, or beating dog when he's down, because Derek is hobbled. He knows that, so he can talk that talk without having much recourse to him. But I think Corey would have done it anyways. Also size the factor too. Derek's not the biggest, but anyway, everybody knows Derek has the heart. I will say that Derek has the biggest heart out of any challenger, pound for pound. He is the best challenger, pound for pound. And yes, the meeting gets over. In Era 4, Theo and Jenny decide to have this fake meeting to where this is really smart. This is actually one of the smartest strategic things I've seen all season, to where they have the meeting to where they already know they're throwing Era 3 in. Like, it's a said, done, and deal. Theo's cool with Kara. And they want Era 3 in. Like, they just want them in because that's just the deals they got set up. At least Theo and Jenny got set up. And they know the rest of their team is going to be cool with Era 3 going in as well, essentially. And so they have a meeting, and they know, okay, we're just going to have this meeting to save face so it can look like it's all of our faults rather than just us 2 faults, which gets Josh involved, which gets Casey involved. And that was a brilliant plan. Because if you can throw the blame on some other people instead of my own, I'm not the only target now. I'm not the only person that threw y'all in elimination. The main thing about the targets is they have the power and the control. But now when the control spread out, everybody's to blame. So I'm not the only one responsible when y'all have somebody to point the finger at. I thought that was brilliant. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Whether that was hold on, yo. Whether that was their intention or not, they did that. They did the whole thing. So I'm gonna give Theo and Jenny the stars of the episode because they manipulated everybody into that. But yes, Air 3 is soon told that they will go in. They're not really surprised. They kind of knew what time it was. Corey's hot, and so he's finds out about the meeting and goes out and takes it out on Josh. And he's pissed off at Casey too. And he goes in to Josh and says, "Hey man, you keep doing me dirty like this. Every time you have a chance to step up and save me, you don't do it. What's popping?" Josh is like, "Well, it's not my fault. It was a team decision. My one vote wouldn't have swayed it." And then Michelle's like, "Oh, yeah, I would have." Michelle throws Josh under the bus. Because she's like, "If you would have said something, we could have swayed all our minds." And Josh is like, "Dang. Why?" Josh does get the short end of the stick when it comes to blame. I will say a lot in these seasons is he's the punching bag. He's the one easy to kind of just throw blame on. And that's what time it is for him. And I feel bad for him in the instance because he did have control, but at the same time, he can't save everybody because then he would have been throwing Derek and Kara in. I don't know how much of an alliance he has with them, too. But it's just funny how the blame, Theo's the one's decision, but now it gets blamed on Josh. I thought he's just an easy scapegoat to put things on because he's not going to really cause that much backlash to your game personally, except for a number. But people don't mind seeing Josh in elimination. So until he proves himself legitly, then that's just always gonna be what it is. Oh, we mad? Let's just blame it on Josh. Easy scapegoat for everything. Casey's strong, but she's a viable scapegoat as well. So I see the tactics. Hold on, y'all. Hold on one sec. I don't know what is going on with my headset, y'all. Technical difficulties is destroying me. But yes, Josh gets the brunt of the blame, and even Devin said he hasn't spoken to Josh and KC. And I'm like, ain't y'all part of the Vacation Alliance? Don't y'all supposed to be like vacationing and planning the vacations like often? How have you not spoken to your alliance members at all? I think that was cap. I think Devin was just using them as a scapegoat as well to put some blame on. But why would you do that on your own team? That's kind of weird. And I think Nani not being there with Casey kind of puts a dent in their little vacation alliance, to be honest. Because with all of them together, they're very powerful. But like when one or two of them ain't there, Niece is gone too, it's kind of being a little fickle. And they can get off to their subgroups. Tori's gonna go off with Jordan, and Devin's gonna go off with Michelle, outsiders of the Vacation Alliance, and then it can just be fractured. So the glue, Nani might be the glue, and that's why it's crashing down before our very eyes. So then we see Corey and Josh going at it. It was pretty funny. Corey's going at everybody this episode. He's going to Theo. He's going at Derek. He's going at Josh. He's going off everybody. He's like, look, if this is my last episode, I'm going out with a bang. A bang. Yeah, they're going on at each other. It was pretty funny. They talking at the house, then we see them talking at the bar, and Josh is just trying to save face. And Kylan even jumps on the Josh punching bag train. He's like, it was his fault. Oh, gosh. I kind of feel bad for Josh here. I'm not going to lie. But soon, it's elimination time. And we see the elimination is called Fate of the Gladiators. And before it starts, Jordan even calls Derek out for throwing his life jacket at Theo. And he's like, look, man, be a man. Own it up to it. Because there was a little argument beforehand with Corey and Derek. But yes, Fate of the Gladiators, what you must do basically is, I like this elimination. I actually didn't mind this elimination. The only thing I'll explain the rules first. One person is blindfolded with boxing gloves on, and the other person has these like bells or buttons that the person must pop. And I think there's 16 of them, but the person who's punching is blindfolded, and they can hear, but they have bells. The person who's evading has bells on them, so excuse me, it is late. It's been a long week. But yes, the person must evade them and duck and dodge and whatnot and get away. I like the elimination concept. The only thing that I was kind of about was I get the blindfold and the bells. You know, you got to put some kind of hamper on these things. It was kind of like peeling the stickers off, except opposite. You're popping things now. I prefer the stickers because there's a little more skill, you know, punching blindly. It's just kind of like, I hope I hit it. Um, I kind of wish they had a flat surface instead of sand because you're running around with these shoes and stuff on. You can't get any grip, can't get any traction. So you're kind of screwed running away. You're going to get knocked out. And a lot of them punched out. So the sand kind of just ruined it a little for me. But honestly, this is the size of the arena. Maybe the challenge should have been like maybe a little bit bigger, but that's roughly the size it should have been, I think. And maybe the elimination should have been bigger, I think, kind of like the challenge. So you flip flop the size arrangements of the challenge and the elimination. I think that would have been perfect. But hey, we can't always get what we want. And then the sands. But yes, the guys go first, and or the girls go first. And look, the girls was a little hysterical. They get started. Rachel goes first. She's the punch. She's one of the blindfold and punching first, and she just keeps knocking Avery out like blow after blow after blow. I'm like, dang, she getting knocked the hell out, coach. Somebody call an ambulance. Avery, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Rachel was like One Punch Man in there. She was just knocking. She was throwing them bows, man. She was just throwing them bows, man. I was like, sheesh. And apparently she used to do taekwondo. She said taekwondo or kickboxing or something. She did black belt. I think she said black belt. Yeah, she was knocking Avery out. Like, I was scared. I thought Avery was going to have a black eye at the end of the episode. Very dangerous. She could have had a concussion. She probably did have a concussion, but yes, Rachel was going crazy, knocking him left and right. I don't know what Avery was doing. She was standing there, not moving around. Like, girl, like, run around, do something. Get up. Like, spin. Put your hand out. Like, I think she didn't know the rules and she thought she couldn't defend herself. That's the only thing. Like, maybe she was like, oh, it's against the rules if I put my hands and cover the little patches. I don't think that was a rule. I mean, some people was even blocking them with their hands. So, Avery, yes, this was not her elimination. But yes, Rachel does well and pretty much knocks every single one out. Then it's Avery's turn, and Rachel does the smart thing by just running in circles. And Avery does kind of catch up a little and get some few blows in there. She knocks quite a few out, but it was clearly, obviously, who the winner was in this one when they were done. But yes, that finishes up as soon as the guy's turn. So Corey goes first, and he's taking his sweet time, you know, Roy Jones Jr. style, Floyd style. Payson getting ready to trap him in his Venus flytrap, and he soon gets in. He goes pop 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 pop. I only take on one boxing class ever, and I need to get back into boxing class, especially based off this weekend. Y'all see from the video, if you watch the Johnny Bananas video, that my boxing technique is bad. He helped me. I got the techniques down a little bit better, but Corey was going in on Derek. I ain't gonna lie. He trapped him and held him with one arm and just started going in, which was smart, as Derek couldn't scurry anywhere. And Corey was dominating. It seemed like he got it done in no time, and soon it was Derek's turn. But Derek was getting him. I mean, he was hobbling on one leg, knocking every single patch out of the park. I was like shook. I'm like, wow, Derek might win this. Like, I was shook. And if Derek eliminates Corey, now he's still hobbled, but man, that is crazy. And I wish Derek wasn't hobbled. Not that I'm rooting against Corey. I'm rooting for Corey, actually, as well, because Darrell's gone. And he's making smart decisions now, or talking that talk and standing up for himself and not just going with the flow of the Vacation Alliance and Era 3's decision making and Devin. But I think Derek maybe a beat Corey if he was healthy. Even Corey thought he probably lost, because at the end of it, Corey's, you know, it looked, the way he was talking was like, man, like you did that, you got me no matter what, like you good. Like, I was like, wow, Corey might really have thought Derek got him. But at the end, Rachel won easily. And well, hand-heartedly, and the guys, they actually tied, but Corey got his patches punched quicker than Derek had Corey's patches punched, and so Corey is the winner. So Derek is the last guy from male Era 1 is out. There are no more men for Era 1. Avery is out of here. She was kind of invisible for a few episodes there, but she did all right. She's out of here. And yeah, Era 1's down to one play. It's crazy, y'all. It's sad. It's crazy. But yeah, congrats to those two. They even get to go to the screening of the Gladiator 2 movie in November. I don't know what the release date is, but they get to go to the red carpet event, which is lit. And it is time for them to pick new targets. And so, Era 4, Casey volunteers, and then Kylan gets picked. Devin volunteers, and Tori volunteers. But Devin had no choice because it was Rachel. Rachel, look, I don't know her relationship with Jordan, and she can't pick Corey. So, and Jordan was like, look, it's your turn. I'm not doing it for you. And Devin don't want that smoke with Jordan. I'm just gonna be frank. He don't. So Devin volunteers because he pretty much knows what time it is, and Tori just follows suit. Johnny tells Laurel not to volunteer, but she gets picked anyways. And Ryan volunteers finally. I'm shook Ryan volunteered because Rachel wasn't gonna pick him. Rachel was probably gonna pick Nehemiah. She wasn't gonna pick Johnny because that's her boy, and she wouldn't have picked Derek because they're cool. So I think she would have picked Nehemiah. But I'm shook that Ryan volunteered. I wish I knew the more depth and context of why he decided to. I guess he felt the pressure just coming on because this is very opposite of his stance from last episode where he's like, we don't have to volunteer. We have a great social game. Well, then why did you volunteer now? You were safe. You could have just skated by again. So I don't get it. Kind of confuses me a little bit, but that's what happened. And then Rachel has to be picked automatically. She's the last one from Era 1. She a target again, and that's how the episode ends. I thought we all thought the format would be changed, considering Era 1 is done basically, except one player. But the show goes on, and there's only 7 targets next week. So very interesting. But yes, this episode I think was one of the better ones from the last couple weeks. It was kind of started hot, and then we trended down, and now we're kind of getting back up a little bit. So I'm excited for next week's episode. We got some new big targets, and I forgot to Laurel. Yeah, she gets picked. Laurel, Tori, Casey. Laurel, Tori, Casey, and Rachel. 4 very strong women, and one of them is going home. And then we got Kylan, Devin, Ryan, and no guys. Only 3 of them. So not the craziest guy. Not the most like domineering guy elimination next week. It's not going to be anything outstanding, but definitely will be interesting. A Devin versus Ryan elimination matchup would be interesting. A Devin versus Kylan would be interesting. So that's where we left off. But yes, y'all, that was episode 8 challenge recap. I appreciate y'all for joining me. I know it's a late one. I was watching the baseball game, so I'm on a little late, but hopefully next week we can get back on track. Got a few travels coming up the next few weeks, but it's gonna be on and popping, and be on the lookout for the longer videos, y'all, because they coming. And I appreciate everybody coming through. We this month actually has been, last month September has been the best month of my content journey so far. There's a lot of growth being made last month, a lot of profits being made, and I couldn't have done it without y'all. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for supporting the brother. We got bigger and better things to keep coming. Debating on reviewing House of Villains, but I just don't know if I have the time right now with the MLB playoffs, the challenge still going on, finishing up the Aaron Hernandez show. I think it ends in a couple weeks, and then all the travels that I got. So I want to start. I really wanted to review that show, but I just ain't got the time, y'all. I got to focus on what I got on my plate. But when the show gets done, then I'll try and cover the next one. But there is some shows coming up that I will be covering, like The Traders and a couple more, a Netflix competition show coming out soon. But Traders don't come out till like January, and the challenge should be over by then. I think it should be over by then. I think. We'll see. But anywho, y'all, thanks so much for joining. Till next time, y'all. Peace, blessings, deuces, and have a great rest of your night.